Hello and welcome to Post Popcorn Picks, the podcast where we here at the Puyallup Post cover all things related to movie news. I'm Steven.
I'm Braden, and today we're going to be talking about sequels of movies coming out in 2019 along with this continuous of series of movies. So we got a long list for today.
Because all the world makes today are sequels. Surprise, surprise. Original content doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, so the first one we're going to start out with is Zombieland 2. I actually really like Zombieland, the original one.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny, and I'm excited to see. I'm hoping it's all the same cast. It probably is, but
last I read, the entire cast comes back. Bill Murray's still present again, which is a bit of an eyebrow raise, and Dan Aykroyd, which
yeah.
I don't know if they're just trying to slowly worm the Ghostbusters in. Or... But yeah, I'm really excited for the film. I really like the first one. I think that there's a bit of an expiration date where a video can go too long before we can get another sequel. I think it's a little too late for that, but
yeah,
Incredibles 2 proved me wrong, so we'll see.
Yeah. The next one is more of a reboot, and it's Hellboy, and I think there's been like 3 Hellboys now.
Mm-hmm.
But this one stars David Harbour as Hellboy, which I think will be good. It looks pretty funny.
Yeah, I really like the way this one's shaping up. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the last 2 ones we got.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping every now and then a reboot comes around and it kind of re-piques my interest in something I wasn't following before. So I saw some of the trailers and I was like, maybe this time I'll give Hellboy a shot.
Yeah. Lego movie. So the next one is the second part of the Lego movie. And I did not see the Lego movie, but the trailer for the second one actually looks kind of funny. So
Lego movie's pretty awesome. I mean, for all the reasons. I mean, I would argue 50% of America has played with a Lego before.
Definitely.
Don't quote me on that, but I feel like everybody knows what Legos are. I feel like they're a big part of our environment in our country, and I think the first one did a really good job telling an original story with something as simple as enhanced Lincoln Logs. So seeing that they're making another one, I think it's a natural progression. I actually don't have too much against the sequel. I think it was not expected but welcomed.
yeah. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I don't know if this isn't necessarily a sequel. It's kind of like a reboot / continuous, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, like the thing with these monster movies is that they never leave room. They make a mess and then they don't clean it up afterwards. They don't close up their own holes and whatnot. So all these questions arise between the previous one to this trailer of like, why is Godzilla suddenly chilling? Like, I know he went back under the sea, but he's just been hanging out ever since. Why do we know where he is that we can even talk to him in the first place?
Yeah.
And why is he so cool with us all of a sudden that he's fighting against other monsters? But then the other side of my brain is like, dude, monster fight. So
yeah, that'd be cool. It looks good just because of the casting. I mean, I know Millie Bobby Brown is one of the main actresses in it, so I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
The quality looks pretty professional. Like, you have some monster movies or any sort of movie in that genre that look kind of cheesy with the CGI and stuff, but this one looks pretty good.
Monster movies are like one of the first genres that come to mind when I think of how far we've come.
Yeah.
When you think of like little cardboard cutouts hanging on strings, it's like,
I actually watched parts of the original Godzilla last night, and it's so cheesy compared to what we have now.
It's pretty bad. So yeah, I think that's a welcome addition. We have Star Wars Episode 9. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Because of that, I've been a little critical about this most recent trilogy. I think a lot of it tends to rehash elements from our original 3 films, and I think a lot of fans are on the fence about that. But I'm always welcome to more space stuff. You know, I'm always excited to hear the lightsabers and the music and the TIE fighters and everything. I'm looking forward to it. Plus, although I'm not a big fan of kind of this most recent trilogy, I am a big fan of the actors that have come through it. Daisy Ridley does a really good job. You know, I think she's really prominent now because of her time in that movie. And John Boyega, I want to say is the name of Finn. He's a really good dude too. And I think movies like this are important because even if they're not exactly always very entertaining, they're kind of a breeding place for new talent. It's with these new movies that we get these new actors and actresses that we're like, oh, who are these people? Now I'm kind of following them.
Especially when like Star Wars has put out 3 movies in the last 2 years.
It's been
or somewhere like that.
Yeah. And if we go over like 4 to 5, we've had 4. We've had the Rogue One, we have Solo, and we have the 2 thus far that we've gotten from the trilogy. It's been a good time for Star Wars fans.
Yeah, it's definitely good for Star Wars and for actors and everything because it's bringing a lot of people in the industry.
Yeah.
The next one is Avengers Endgame, and I've been a fan of the Avengers series so far, so I don't know how they're gonna do this one.
Yeah, it's hard to attempt to be objective. I'm a huge comic book nerd, so I can't be like, oh, I hope they do. I mean, I've had a really good time. I walked into Infinity War ready to view it with, my microscope and be like, oh, they're not doing this right and they're not doing that right. And they took it in a bit of an original direction, but it all came about really, really well, and I wasn't dissatisfied at all.
Yeah.
So coming in Endgame, I'm just like, you've got my attention. Like, I'm ready. I am just ready to go.
Toy Story 4, I don't know if I missed the hype train on Toy Story 4 when they released that it was being made, but I just found out yesterday Toy Story 4 is coming out.
I think Toy Story 4 is a perfect example of kind of what we're trying to get around to here, and that's that some sequels just shouldn't be. Toy Story 3 was fine. You could have left it at that.
I think you could have left it with that one. Like, with how, it all kind of ended in a happy ending almost. Like, it came together, so I don't know what this storyline is going to be.
There's a spork, and he's gained sentience somehow, which just makes me question things I shouldn't be questioning. Like, he's technically not a toy, so why does he have sentience? Do the other sporks and forks and spoons, do they have sentience? Is putting googly eyes on an inanimate object classified as a toy and give it life in their universe? I don't know. Maybe they'll answer that in Toy Story 4.
Frozen 2. I don't know. Frozen was such a big hit, but I don't know if they should have made a second one.
So Disney has a really bad habit of diluting their own films with their sequels more often than not. I remember when I was growing up in the 90s, Disney sequels were direct to VHS and whatnot, and that's because they were usually bad. Like Little Mermaid 2, Aladdin, Return of Jafar. These are movies that are not on anybody's top film list. So when I think of Frozen 2, I think of that, and sure it's going to theaters, but I don't know. They've set themselves up so high. Like, how are they gonna get a song together that's catchier than the previous one? How are they gonna put a story together that's better than the previous one? If anyone can do it, it's Disney. But I don't know. I'm a little skeptical.
So The Secret Life of Pets 2. I went and saw The Secret Life of Pets just because I was bored one day.
You saw it in theaters?
I saw it in theaters.
Oh.
I was like, hey, you text a friend, you want to go see it? She's like, sure. And we went and saw it, and it was a good movie, but they didn't leave it in a way that it was ended, so they easily could make a sequel, but it's definitely more of a kids movie, I guess, just because of all the cute animals and stuff like that.
That's Illumination, if I'm correct, right? The same people behind Minions and all these other annoying films coming out. There's such a double-sided edge here, because Illumination films are beautiful to look at. They're really well animated. But it's like looking at really well animated pieces of garbage. Their stories.
There's not a story though.
I know.
I stopped after the first Minions. I was like, I don't even know if there's a story in the
If I was a kid, I wouldn't want to watch that. I'd be like, what is this? Even as a kid, I appreciated a story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Secret Life of Pets 2. Kevin Hart will be in it. Again, that's probably going to put a lot of butts in seats, and that'll probably be enough for them to get another Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah, it's all about the voice acting when it comes to those things. So,
Dark Phoenix, man, the XMen franchise, they've had so much trouble trying to connect their own universe, man. We got our original setup, and then they were like, okay, we're going to make a whole different set with different actors, except we're going to use Hugh Jackman as Wolverine for both of them because he's money, which is I've never seen a film franchise so convoluted that they made a movie to rewrite their own franchise. They had an entire movie we had to pay to see just for them to go, okay, pay attention to this and not that. That's pretty bold. But I think Dark Phoenix can be what really brings it all together. They've been on a pretty good ride as of late. The new cast has I think they've really gotten familiar with their roles well enough. I think Sansa Stark's going to hit it out of the park. I'm looking forward to it. And with we have our new connections with Fox and Marvel and everything. Yeah. And the properties are finally coming home.
Actually,
I'm looking forward to some potential Easter eggs, maybe some cameos.
I haven't watched many X-Men movies, but I'm kind of excited for this one. I'm probably going to see it.
Hoping for a Deadpool cameo.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Far From Home. Probably an unpopular opinion, but Tom Holland is the Spider-Man. Holy crap, this dude has just got it. He's on top of it. I remember sitting down watching his first movie, and I was like, all right, man, impress me. And I was sold so instantaneously. He's so fit for the role in every facet. As soon as I knew they announced the sequel, I was just waiting. I was just in my room with my watch, just like, all right, we're getting there. It's coming up. Like,
Yeah.
this movie's gonna be amazing.
And it's coming out like it's in 2019, which would be pretty quick because the last one is still in theaters, right? The last Spider-Man?
Well, yes, but that one doesn't cover our buddy Tom Holland. That one,
no?
not even Peter Parker. It covers
Oh,
Miles
okay.
Morales. So it's like same superhero, different character taking the reins.
Yeah.
So film franchises, yes, but they're like separate universes.
Okay.
But arguably, it is pretty soon for another Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
Like they're releasing these back to back. Am I complaining? No.
Next we have Glass, which if you ask anybody in the office, I'm super excited to go see Glass. I'm gonna go see it opening night. If you don't know the story behind Glass, it's actually like the third movie in a series, but it was weird how they did it because they started with Unbreakable, and Unbreakable came out in 2000 or 2001, and then they skipped 16 years before they made the second one, which is Split. And a lot of people didn't know that it was actually a sequel, and you don't know it's a sequel really until you watch the last scene of Split, where it connects it to Unbreakable.
Bruce Willis shows up.
Oh yeah, and talks about Mr. Glass, which leads to the next one called Glass. So I think it'll be good. I don't know. There's already been like skepticals of they're gonna make another one because they show in the previews talk about the main girl being a superhero or something. So we'll see if they continue it or if they just end it. But either way, I think it's going to be a good series.
I don't have a lot to say on this because I haven't really followed this at all. Shyamalan movies, I don't tend to watch a lot of them. I will say, though, as just a regular patron of the cinema, something that concerns me is that the trailer seems to focus on what will probably be a 10-minute focal point in the entire movie. All we keep seeing is like the part where they escape.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's bits and pieces of like what leads up to that, but this is a movie. It's probably going to be an hour and a half or so, and I keep seeing these like couple of minutes thrown together, and they always say trailers are the best part of films, and that's concerning.
I feel like it might be, I almost feel like this might be a setup movie though. Like, I feel like, because they show a lot of interviews of each of the people in it, like they're gonna tell their backstories and tell more about them to set up for another movie or something, you know? Or yes, they break out, but like, could there be more to the story? So I don't know, we'll see.
Shyamalan, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So after that, we have It Chapter 2, and
another one I want to see.
I love horror films. Because of that, I don't love American horror films. They're usually really bad. And the previous It was amazing.
Yeah.
I saw the initial make with Tim Curry when I was a kid, and it was kind of scary, but it was kind of campy too, so it was hard for me to really get into it. It's hard for anything to really scare me, and it didn't succeed in doing that, but it did have my attention. There were certain cuts in the parts of the film that it just had me like, wow, like this is so enthralling, and it's so rare to say that about a film nowadays. I'm ready for this one.
I hated horror films like prior to It 2, or prior to the first It, or the remake of It. But I started getting into making horror films myself, so I was like, I'm gonna go watch It for the cinematography because it was beautiful. And then I've watched it like 3 times now, and I'm like, yes, I need the second one. I want to see more.
It's weird to see a horror movie and be like, this is a gorgeous film, but it really is. Everything's so particular. It does your heart so good, especially if you've read the original book. It's so wonderful. So, surprise, surprise, more Terminator films are coming out. We're getting a reboot of the entire franchise, apparently. I'll be honest, I stopped paying attention after the second film. I feel like that's where a lot of people stepped away. I know we've gotten a good umpteen after that. There's been a television series, some really bad video games. The Terminator series is alive and well. I just don't think anybody really cares. No. Maybe that's why the reboot's happening.
It could be, but I swear, I don't know what their story is going to be, but it looked like the main photo of the title was focused on a girl. As if it's like a female Terminator only, not like she's a side character, you know? So I don't know how they're going to do it, if they're going to reboot it in a different way, or they're just going to add more characters, or if it'll be what it'll be, but...
Yeah, I'd say their best bet is to go as far as they can in a different direction.
Probably.
This is the kind of
people
franchise...
want to see something new, not the same movie
Nobody's going to be like, oh, that guy will totally replace Arnold. You might as well just take it in another direction. Just go for
pretty
it.
much.
Happy Death Day to You. I saw this original film just kind of like how you did with Secret Life of Pets. I was not planning on seeing it. I just saw it was in. I messaged this girl and I was like, hey, let's go see this film. And we watched it, and I had a really good time. I know it's kind of, you know, cheesy and whatnot, but it's so rare, the Groundhog Day premise that you see in other films, and there's only one other film I know of that's done it. It was a Netflix film, so it's rare enough that I'm not tired of it yet. So I watched it, and in a horror aspect, it's really interesting.
Cool in a horror aspect.
I just don't think we needed another one. No, was the thing.
But like the premise of this one is like the killer is going to go after her friends now, unless she dies every day. Like, I don't know, it's weird how they wrote it, so I'm not sure if it's going to be just too repetitious or if it's going to be good. I don't know.
I don't. The first one left a lot of room without a lot of answers, but in horror movies, you hardly ever actually want answers.
Yeah.
So I was content with that. But now they're giving us a sequel, and now they're raising more questions on how this is even happening. So now I kind of want answers, which is on them for that. But mostly, it feels like they were like, hey, we've got a lot of footage left on the cutting room floor. Let's just repurpose this into another film.
Pretty much, yeah. And finally, we have How to Train Your Dragon Hidden Worlds. So this is the third one in the series. I saw the first one. I don't think I saw the second one. Did you?
I saw the first and the second one, and it's so interesting because the second one is like revered right now. It's got a good score on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. Everybody loves it. They're like, oh, I really love the second How to Train Your Dragon. I fell asleep watching it the first time. And then I fell asleep watching it the second time.
Yeah.
And then I finally watched it the third time, and I was like, it's good. It's nothing groundbreaking or anything. It's pretty predictable as far as story trends go. Not to say that's a bad thing. I mean, sometimes predictable is good. But going into this third one feels even worse. It feels like they just wanted another film, and it feels like the whole film...
It's like a Frozen 2 scenario.
Yeah,
like, why does he make another
let's just make another one. How to Train Your Dragon 3, Toothless Wants a Girlfriend, and here we go. And DreamWorks specifically has a bad habit of hammering their franchises into the ground. They make movies, and they make shows, and they make specials.
Yeah.
There's like 3 different How to Train Your Dragon television shows.
Is there?
Yeah. And now we're getting a third movie.
I've seen like the short films of them. They've made like short films to like preview.
Shorts, it's excessive. It's really excessive, and somebody needs to just like slap DreamWorks' hand and tell them to calm down. But yeah.
So that's pretty much all the confirmed sequels coming out in 2019. There's a couple we can talk about in the future, like they just released that The Quiet Place is going to have a sequel, so that's probably not till like 2020 or 2021, but I'm excited for that. And then we got, the Avatar 2 and Avatar 3 and Avatar 4.
Marvel's lined up their entire film plan for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of movies that are continuing the series or remakes, but I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about what's coming up in 2019. There's not a lot of original films. There's a couple coming into the works, but those are for another day. So, yeah.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Hope you have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. All the links are in the description below, and have a great day.
See you guys.